There is a captivating allure in being compassionate. The essence of a compassionate heart lies in its genuine desire to assist, to provide solace, and to be present for others. However, in our pursuit of being good, we often neglect to be kind to ourselves. We generously contribute, and we generously contribute, and we generously contribute, until we're completely depleted. And then we smile through the fatigue, because we've convinced ourselves that being approachable, being accessible, being constantly agreeable is our role, our identity. But what is the price? You don't have to become resentful to learn how to improve yourself. It is important to acknowledge when your acts of kindness have become detrimental to your own well-being. Take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, am I being friendly because I genuinely want to be? Or because I'm afraid of feeling excluded, disliked, or misunderstood? The distinction between kindness driven by love and kindness driven by fear is significant. When we act from love, we establish appropriate limits. We assert when it is essential. We safeguard our tranquility. But when we act from dread, we constrict ourselves. Line breaks are essential in the output, and we will not tolerate any method that compromises their quality. We expose parts of ourselves that are already void, hoping someone will recognize our value and reciprocate. But often, they do not. People frequently take what we provide and vanish. And we are left perplexed as to what we did wrong. But we didn't commit any errors. We overlooked the fact that not everyone is entitled to access our innermost thoughts and emotions. We overlooked the fact that not everyone comprehends the significance of our time, our dedication, and our hard work. And that's when you must awaken. That's when you must remember you teach people how to treat you, not by what you say, but by what you allow. When you enable individuals to deplete your energy and leave without any consideration, you're conveying a message that implies you don't value their presence. I don't appreciate myself enough to safeguard my boundaries. And I understand it can be challenging, especially when your natural inclination is to care for others, to solve problems, and to provide support for everyone around you. However, it is important to recognize that allowing others to cross your boundaries does not necessarily make you kind. You're not helping anyone by losing yourself. You don't have to justify yourself every time you require solitude. You are entitled to take a break. You don't have to rely on individuals who only come to your aid when it serves their own interests. Occasionally, excessive friendliness can serve as a means to conceal our emotional distress. We make an effort to be accommodating so that no one notices how vulnerable we truly are. We strive to be liked so we can avoid the discomfort of sitting alone. We often prioritize fulfilling the needs of others, neglecting to consider our own requirements. And that is the most perilous part. Not the individuals who exploit us, but the tendency to neglect self-reflection and introspection. The way we disregard the persistent discomfort in our chest. The way we dismiss our fatigue as a regular occurrence. It's not typical to experience a sense of emotional exhaustion caused by consistently being kind. It's not typical to continuously doubt if your presence is valued or acknowledged. It's not typical to consistently be the one initiating contact, checking in, staying late, making sacrifices, and still feeling like it's never sufficient. That's not camaraderie. That's not a group. That's self-betrayal wrapped in the illusion of being kind. You can be compassionate and still depart. It is possible to be kind and prioritize your own self-love. That does not make you hostile. That makes you complete. That makes you someone who finally understands the importance of valuing your time, that your vitality is invaluable. Your value is not determined by the number of people you please. It is possible to lose some individuals during the journey. Individuals who were only present because they were beneficial to you. Individuals who became accustomed to your affirmative responses and constant accessibility. But that's all right. Release them. Line breaks are essential, and we will not tolerate any deviation from the accepted method. They will not back down when you establish limits. They won't disappear when you choose yourself. Those individuals will acknowledge your boundaries. They will honor your time. They will value the effort you put in, even if it's not much. They will understand that your love is not something to be overlooked or disregarded. You don't need to gain affection by overextending yourself. You don't need to audition for belonging by constantly being agreeable. You are already a part of us. You have enough value. However, those who witness your selflessness will never expect you to sacrifice your own well-being for their happiness. They will not pressure you into staying in spaces that deplete your energy. They will not gauge your loyalty by the extent to which you sacrifice your own needs for them. So refrain from being overly friendly with individuals who perceive your kindness as a sign of vulnerability. Cease nurturing relationships that only flourish when you're the sole contributor of effort. Refrain from responding to calls from individuals who never inquire about your well-being. Refrain from extending your assistance to individuals who only appear when they are in need, but vanish when you require their support. And most importantly, cease expressing regret for selecting you. As soon as you stop giving in to others' demands and start prioritizing your own time and emotions, a significant change occurs. You start to hear your own voice once more. You begin to identify your own desires, aspirations, and vitality. You become more mindful of how you spend your time, choosing to surround yourself with people who bring positivity and value to your life. And that's not you becoming isolated. That's you finally recovering. That's you selecting excellence over abundance. Focus on the important, achieving harmony instead of success. The world requires your compassion. It requires your empathy. However, it is not necessary to exhaust yourself in order to achieve your goals. Let your compassion be strong, not weak. Let it have a spine. Let it be grounded in self-worth. When you show yourself love and care, there is a different kind of pain that doesn't stem from betrayal or heartbreak. However, after providing an excessive amount of yourself and realizing it was still insufficient, it's the persistent discomfort that arises when you consistently invest your time and energy into individuals who would not even acknowledge your absence. It's the weight that descends upon your chest when your phone only rings when someone requires assistance. And yet, you grin. You'll remain present. You persistently respond, attentively listen, resolve issues, assist and support, as you genuinely believe that kindness is the correct approach. That expression "no" would make you egotistical. That safeguarding your vitality would make you uncharitable. However, it is important to clarify that kindness is not solely about being nice or polite. Compassion isn't about destruction. It's not about compromising your mental well-being to ensure everyone else's comfort. It's not about transforming into a person who solely exists to cater to others' needs, while your own desires and well-being are consistently neglected. Somewhere during the journey, you began to believe that being liked was more valuable than being respected. Prioritizing the happiness of others was deemed more crucial than maintaining one's own emotional well-being. And now you've established a reputation of being the accommodating one, the one who always agrees, and it's taking a toll on you. You're exhausted, not because life is burdensome, but because you've been shouldering the weight of others' expectations while neglecting your own boundaries. When you're excessively friendly, accommodating, and lenient, it conveys an unspoken message. It conveys the message that your time is not highly regarded, that your boundaries are adaptable, that you are willing to be used without complaint. But deep down, you do have concerns. You feel the animosity growing. You experience increasing frustration each time someone expects you to prioritize their needs over your own, but would never make the same request of them. You feel the sting of being forgotten until you're needed, but you keep pushing those feelings down because you're afraid of seeming rude, afraid of losing people, afraid of not being liked, and in doing so, you lose little pieces of yourself. People will seize what you offer. If you constantly offer yourself with no limits, they will continue to expect more, not because they are bad people, but because you've taught them that it's okay, that you will always be there, that your needs come second, that your time is flexible. And the moment you attempt to modify or establish a boundary, or when you assertively decline, you'll witness the transformation. Some individuals may be taken aback, others may feel offended, and some may choose to leave, but those are not the people you are targeting. They had no regard for you. They were present for the reason you provided. And so you must learn to respect yourself, to make choices for yourself, not in a forceful, confrontational manner, but in a composed, centered way. You can still be cozy without being broad. You can still be generous without giving until it becomes a burden. It is possible to maintain your moral character even when faced with mistreatment from others. Being compassionate does not imply being perpetually accessible. Being affectionate does not imply being endlessly lenient. You have the right to establish limits. Line breaks are essential and they are necessary in the output, and we will not tolerate any deviation from the accepted method. You may take a break. You have the right to be your own person. Sometimes we mistake affection for acceptance. We believe that by being kind, friendly, and flexible, people will eventually embrace us the way we desire to be embraced. However, genuine love does not necessitate compromising oneself until one's own integrity is compromised. Compassionate love acknowledges your limits and honors them. True love doesn't disappear when you say, "I can't do it right now." The truth is, when you're always trying to please everyone, you end up losing sight of who you truly are. You extinguish your flame. You lose your lucidity. You sever the bond with your inner self. Why do we pursue it? Why do we repeatedly choose to follow this path of overextending, overgiving, and overcompensating? Because we believe our worth is determined by the amount of service we provide to others. We firmly believe that if we cease providing support, our significance will diminish. But that's a fabrication. Your existence is what makes you valuable. Your value is not exchangeable. It's not measured by your usefulness. It's not determined by how many people require you. You are important, even when you are taking a break. You are significant, even when you are not present. Line breaks are very crucial, and they are needed in the output, and we will not tolerate it no matter what method you use. You don't need to constantly prove yourself by being overly friendly to individuals who don't even recognize you. You don't need to keep extending grace to those who never reciprocate it. You don't have to continue being the one who initiates contact, the one who resolves issues, or the one who makes adjustments. Encourage dialogue, attract and engage individuals. Encourage them to demonstrate their worthiness of your enthusiasm. Don't waste your energy on individuals who wouldn't even realize if you were no longer around. Stop letting remorse direct your behavior. Guilt is not a guide. Love is. Is this relationship reciprocal? Is this association equitable? Am I being observed or just being utilized? Begin paying attention to your body when it signals, "I'm tired of being the sole one putting in the effort." Begin to trust your gut feeling when it softly murmurs, "This doesn't feel right." You are entitled to safeguard your tranquility, to conserve your vitality, to invest in yourself first. As you prioritize the happiness of others, you gradually fade into the background, and even those you're making sacrifices for may not realize your absence until it's too late. There's no need to apologize for being both gentle and powerful at the same time. You don't need to justify why you're no longer agreeing to everything. You don't need to explain your limits. Development does not always come with recognition. Occasionally it brings solitude, separation, and sadness from those who were only present in your life because of what you could provide for them. However, that silence, that emptiness, that unease, is where your true strength starts to emerge. You cease to seek validation. You begin to live in harmony. It's not easy to alter a routine you've been accustomed to for a long time. It is imperative, because you deserve relationships that are built on genuine care, not just convenience. You deserve to be surrounded by individuals who not only appreciate your friendliness, but also recognize and respect your inner qualities. Who do not merely consume, but also contribute. Who don't just inquire, but pay attention. Before you can find those individuals, you must first embody that person within yourself. You have the power to make choices for yourself, just as you have done for others in the past. By making that decision, you will experience the tranquility that has been absent from the lives of those around you.